Doing?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. So you want to discuss anything related to topics we covered?
No, just go ahead.
Okay. Further, very important, all the modules, right? It is integrated. The batch. Let me finish first batch. Actually, PPPA is there, management. But due to that criticalities of process, there is a lot of configuration need to be do. In PPPI documents, global. Okay. So meanwhile, this batch we will go into understand what is batch management. Okay. Let me share my screen. Hope my screen is visible. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm starting with batch management. So batch management. So this is a few topics. I'm covering more than these topics. Let me add that. So first we go for the batch management. Take a batch overview. So, so you know what is a batch and all in the generic terms in the daily our life or even today's the this pandemic. We are seeing a lot of tablets. Those in the tablets we can check whether what is the batch number of that tablet, what is the manufacturing date, expiry date, right? These are as in a pharma industry, these data how we going to link, how to map in the SAP, right? Those things we're going to understand. What is the batch number, date, how where these dates, expiry dates and all mentioned in the SAPs. Okay, before that, what is batch? Right, the batch management. So I'm going to cover batch management, then original batch management, SLED, batch splitting, batch classification, and batch determination. Okay, so the batch is nothing but the generic. This is a definition where we can understand it is a partial quantity of the material which is managed separately from other partial quantity of the same material. That means there is a splitting option is there, right? If the component is required 100 component, okay, during the goods issue stage, you can use partially as well, 50 from the one batch, another 50 from the other batch, based on the quantity availability. Okay, that we can use it. The main characteristics of the batch are homogeneity and non-reproducibility. This is what the batch is actually. This is the batch. Okay, and why the batch is needed, why the batch is required in our system. So this is first a very important is a legal requirement. Okay, in good manufacturing practice, so we have to track, right? We have to track the component, or if the batch of the material is something is in a, it went wrong, or it harms to people in the market. How to track it is based on the batch, in which batch this component went wrong. So, or even this is the regulations on the hazardous material. So, the main requirement of the batch, the need is one is legal. Okay, it is a legal requirements. The guidelines set out of the GMP, that is good manufacturing practice. Batch is mandatory, or it is a regulation. Hazardous material. Okay, hazardous materials we may know. Then we can go for the defect. This is for the defect tracking, callback activity, and a regression requirement. The need for the differentiated quantity and value based inventory management. So there is a warehouse where how the batch is managed based on the batch also, that we can, based on the quantity and the value based, we can manage this batch. Due to the heterogeneous yield, result quantities are varying the constituents in production. So these are where that quantity, what is yield? Yield nothing but the output after the production. Okay, those we can differentiate. And differences in the usage and monitoring thereof in the material planning. And even it is material planning in SD and production, the batch is uh, giving in a good role. Okay, it is very important to track. And production are procedural requirement. For example, settlement of the material quantity, settlement, we saw this, what is a settlement and all. So there also this batch requirement giving an help, or it is a need for the batch management. So overall, the batch management is an integrated of all the application of the SAP system. It may be SD, MM, QM, PM as well. It supports the management and processing of the batches and all the company's business process. So ultimately, the requirement is, one is legal requirement, defer tracking, callback activity, value-based inventory, production, procedural, even SD related, and differences in the usages. So this is how the batch we can understand. So it is nothing but partial quantity of the material which is managed separately from the other quantity of the same material. The main characteristics of the batch are homogeneity, non-reproducibility. So this is how the, this is quality chain, how this is linked with other modules. Okay, there is a batch management is quality chain, there is a quality management, even procurement, production, sales, SD, purchase order, warehouse, process production, warehouse, sales order. If the batch is created initially, this is link, and to start the tracking, that traceability start from the start of the component and to delivery to the customer, till that the batch is managed. The usually the digit is allowed in SAP is 10 digits. Okay, in SAP ECC, 10 digits is allowed to, and this is alphanumeric. The batch may, it may be simply numeric or alphanumeric. The total digits is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Decimal digits allowed in SAP. It may be alphanumeric. Here, see BD0045. Up to within the 10 digits only, the batch is, the naming is allowed in SAP. But as a vendor batch, if vendor is sending the component to the companies, they, the system is allowed up to 14 digits actually. Okay, so how to activate the batch management in a material, how this can be activated in SAP, that we can see. So in the material master, the following views are activated. If you activated purchasing, then we can see this activated in the work scheduling view also. Okay, if purchasing means some vendor component, if activated, then that view is in a purchasing view. There is a batch management indicator. Okay, there is a check box is there. If you activate it, replicate. If work scheduling view also there, it is replicated there. Even production scheduling, so plan data, store allocation. So these three areas, even SD also we can see in SD view also. Okay, even sales and distribution view. So usually the activation is because any raw material only some companies is activated the batch, correct? So the purchasing view is the one, the activation of the batch is importance. And you come to know. Work scheduling. Yeah, this is a SAP screen where this is a purchasing view. Okay. For example, the raw material, this indicator you have to activate it. If when you going to activate means initially you are creating the material. If the material is created, a bomb you maintained, or some activity is started, then system is not allowed to activate the batch. Okay, this is the initial stage only you can activate the batch, either of these views, right? So this is a batch management. Here you have to activate the batch. Once you this is activated, entire component till you are issuing Ganesh to the order. If it is we are in a production planning, till the tracking is there for the components. This is the view plant data storage location. Okay. If you activate it there, we can see here also it is replicated. Batch management in plant data storage location, or even work scheduling view also. This is a work scheduling view. Here, see, this is a batch management. Or initially, if you activated in work scheduling view, so it is replicated others also, plant data storage location. Okay, it is interlink. No need to activate in all the views. Okay. And this is a work scheduling view. Work scheduling view, nothing but it is in PP views, right? The major PP views are MRP 1, 2, 3, 4, and work scheduling view, right? So if this is SFG component, we have to track with the batch, then this is a indicator is mandatory for batch managed components. Then this is a configuration in the backend, how this batch and who is going to define this. Usually there are the levels of the batches. Okay, the batch level in the different plants for many materials, right? The material is there. There are the batch levels. We can batch levels in SAPR. One is client level, another one is material level, plant level. Usually the system is configured with material level only. Okay, usually. But based on the requirement, we can change the configuration. That is what this is telling. So how the differentiation we understand here. For this reason, you can manage the batches in different plants. Okay, if there are one company having different plants in the different locations, right? So and having a different materials, so how to different for this, the batches must be uniquely identifiable. So the batch number, uniquely identification of the batch, you use the batch levels specify. Okay, so that may be client, material, and plant. Client means across the, it is across the company. Okay, this is what the client level. It is unique. Okay, unique. For example, you see this is a XY batch. The material is Y300. Okay, that assign batch is a batch 1. The name is given as a batch 1. If that is the case, in if you are the configured in the client level, that cannot be used. Okay, for the YP material. Okay, this may you understand. There is a material. There are two materials. One is Y, another one is P material. If you are activated with the client level, the same batch number you cannot use here. Okay, here if the material is different, you should be go with different batch number. It is unique. Okay, it is a unique based on the material and client. This is we called as a client level in combination with the material number. Usually system SAP provides on material level combination. For example, same material is there, this company this having a two plants. For example, plant is one and plant is two. Okay, and the material is the same one material is used in the both the plants. Okay, but system is allowed to use the batch here even with different batch different materials. That means, so if the one material is having the name Y300, another is P300, it the both the material is used in the different plants, that can be allowed in a same batch number in material combination in the material level configuration. Okay, in combination with the plant level, it is based on the plant and material, plant specific now. Okay, it is a plant specific. So material Y300 and P300. So it is a batch 1. So plant 1 with batch 1, plant 2 with batch 1. So based on the now plant specific batch can be defined. It is the level of the batch. Usually all companies recommended the material level. SAP also initially given the setting for the material level combination. Batch number assignment. So when we get this batch or batch levels, so we understand this, assign the batch number. So there is a new T code you're going to understand now is MSE1N is the creation of the batch based on the batch plant and material combination. The change is MSE2N and display is MSE3N. So when we how the batch can be assigned during the creation of the batch. Okay, if you enter this batch, the batch can be assigned, or when carrying out the goods movement, right? We observed, we understand some of the goods movements, that is 261 MB1A 261, MIGO 261, or MAGO, MIGO 101. Those movement type also system we can assign this batch. Okay, goods receipt or transfer posting MB1B. Okay, MB1B 311 movement. So any movements is going to take place that time. If required, batch can be activated, or that is a batch creation. During the creation of the production order and process order during CO01 creation, or COR1 is a process. In the next class we can understand this what is a process management. So during the creation also the batch can be assigned for the material. When usage decision, this is from the QM model. This is for the SAP QM model where usage decision is there in QA32. So during the usage decision, that means you are clearing the lot from the quality stock to unrestricted stock. There also we can track, we can manage the batch for the inspection lot. During the quality analysis, due to aging. For example, in this is again for the quality analysis QM model. There also we can create the batch and purchase order. This is related to MM. So in all the modules, so we can assign or create the batch, or we can trace the batch. This one slide is okay. So
Individually creating the modules. Like if PP is
not
creating,
like
then
that. Yeah, initially, if they created same batch, actually transferring till the end.
yeah,
It is not like that if MM is created, then QM is different batch. No, no, not like that. If see, for example, in a PO purchase order level or incoming components vendor batch. Okay, once that batch is created, then if the quality inspection 01 inspection lot is activated, the same batch is flowing here in during the UD time as well.
yeah.
Okay. So actually that is a tracking type. If for example in PO level not maintained, if you require during the usage decision, that's also possible. Okay. But
Same will be carry.
initially it should be a link. Once that is batch is created, it is flowing till the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. See here in the purchase order level. That means still they are not initially created, but they, if required a purchase order level, there also option to create getting that batches. We can create these batches both manually and automatically by doing the settings. Okay, so This is the step internal batch number. Yeah, internal batch number assignment. These are the customization. Internal batch number assignment is activated for the complete client unless you exempt individual plant or the material. These are the settings, the backend settings uh, for the batch creation. Okay, some companies asking for internal batch number, system only creating the batch number. Some companies telling I don't want. We have a company namings or some example we saw here BD something is there, right? So based on that we need to do the some setting, that is radio button is there. Okay, during setting we can see that during our configuration, or if time permit I will show that as well. And yeah, it is linking, this batch is linking again. We can understand this classifications also. What is this classification? Okay, what is the classification? Variant configuration. Okay, this is linked with what is the class characteristics. The SAP system inform you only once for each transaction that internal batch number assignment is active. Internal batch number is activated. For example, when you enter the first item for the multiple entry, see this is a material and the batch. Actually example is given, system given. So we see some of viscosity. This in example, you see some viscosity need to be understand, or this to be recorded, or coverages, color wavelengths. Okay, this can be this to be created through classification views. Okay, the classification views we can understand in the next class. Yeah, this also. And after this, we can understand this. There is a classification characteristics initially need to be created. Then this characteristic to be assigned to the class. Okay. The usually the batch class is 023. So this is about the flow is there, classification related. Those data this is given. So if batch one is verified by this, there is a process order is there. Okay, this process order, this, if there is a based on the process order, different viscosities there, different colors are there. So how to manage these variants, right? The variant configuration through classification view by defining in the system with allowed batch numbers. Okay, so this is what uh, the data in the material master applies in general of all the batches assigned to this master record. This is we called as a master record. The next slide is there. So by construct the batch master record contains the data that uniquely identify corresponding batch and characteristics. Yeah, this is what these are the characteristics. This can be tracked by this batch master record. Okay, the unit as that cannot be reproduced. This is what batch master. There is a classification view is there in the batch. Okay, the batch master record is a T code. This is I told it is based on the material. If this is a batch, okay, it is external batch number. This is alphanumeric or numeric. Okay, here. And which plant, what is the storage location? And these are the views in the batch master record. We called as a batch master record. This is linked with this classification. Okay, so batch class characteristics can be assigned and we can view in this based on the material batch plant combination. So initially there is a basic data one, basic data two classification, and material data changes. If any changes is recorded here. And this is what we understand. What is SLED? The next, we can understand what is SLED, what is production date, expiration date. Okay, these all are tracked in this batch record if we maintain in the plant data storage location setting. Yeah, this is what the batch. There is a basic data. Various types of the information are stored in the batch master record. So what we called as a batch master record in MSc 1N, if you create manually, so there is a basic data one where various data, production date, shelf life expiry date, goods receipt date, our batch status is maintained in this basic data one in this way. Okay. And in basic data 2, there is a text freely definable date. In classification view, characteristics and their value, change document of batch, and material data information from the material master record. And if any changes, the change history is maintained in this last field we called as changes. So these all together, put together, we called as a batch master record. This is about the basics about the batches. Is about basics. Okay, here we are. This is a batch. So we can, once we log in, we can understand where these are, how we can maintain all this, and we continue with classifications. Okay, batch classification. The classification is linked with the this batches. So classification is where this may be technical or physical and or chemical properties of the batch, right? We saw some viscosity, those detail and all. Okay, that is nothing but the characteristics. These are the characteristics: viscosity, colors, okay, and length, diameter. Those are all we called as a classification. That is characteristics. These characteristics put together, we assign it into the classes. Okay, this class we assigned it to the material in classification view. So one more view now you're going to understand is classification view. Classification view in material master in MMR. So if there is a class is there, we need to assign that into material. So the characteristics definition or T code to create is CT04. Okay. The characteristic here, see, the characteristic is thickness. No, understand what is the thickness. There is a range, right? For example, the range is between 5 to 10 mm. Then the range we can track based on the production order process. If there is a process industry, so that tracking through this characteristics. Okay, so this is a characteristic definition. It is nothing but the specification of the object, nothing but specification. It may be length, width, weight, thickness, okay, or the viscosity, what we saw. So those we called as characteristics that to be defined with this T code. So all characteristics can be assigned that merged into this class. The class contains the one or more characteristics. Okay, so one class we created. In this class, these two are the characteristics. So what is the class type? In the batch classification, the class type is 023. It describes the group of the object that have the common or similar specification. This is a batch type. So it is nothing but the class type of this is 023. Okay, we'll show in a system these details. And this is a flow. So for batch classification, initially you have to create based on the requirement what is the characteristics. That characteristics to be assigned into this class through CL01. Then this is assign the characteristic to the class. Okay, in the CL01 there is a characteristic tab is there. So whatever the characteristics you created, that to be assigned into this class. So assign the class to material master in classification view in MM02 and create the batch and assign the value of the characteristics MSC to it. If that is done, once you create a manually, you can get whatever that characteristics value can be tracked during this classifications. So this is what batch classification. So batch classification. Characteristic describe all types of the object and the group of the similar object in the classes to classify the objects. This is what the main thing is. What is characteristics? What is the class? What is the batch class type and all. So this is called batch classification. The batch specification describe the technical, physical, and or chemical properties of the batch. Okay, the majorly the classification is used in the PPPI industries. Okay, where to understand the physical properties of the component, even in the pharma industries and all. Okay, majorly used this batch classification. So you store the batch specifications, right? The specification we saw that may be the length, width, thickness, weight. Okay, that such the batch status, active ingredient potency as a characteristics in the classification system. So this is how the batch classification. So once we log into the system, and I will show you how to create this characteristics detail for the batch classification. The graphical below, there is a class, right? So this is the material, or X material is there. There is a characteristics is M1. The range is from D to F. Characteristics M2. The range from X to Y. Characteristics M3 is M to P. So these are the ranges. So there is a batch. Okay, if this batch having a characteristics M1, the result, the range or the result characteristics is D, and characteristics M2 got X, characteristics M3 is M. This is the actual value. This is the range, right? This is the range actually defined in the characteristics in CT04. This we get the batch result, actual value. Suppose, for example, M1 is E, okay, D, E, F. So how we differentiate on of these three? This is the actual value we're getting once we define in the system. Okay. So these characteristics, there is a the majorly the once we create these characteristics, we need to assign into this class. This is the graphical representations. Okay, for easy understanding. So I hope you clear this. So usually these ranges initially defined. Then during the if there is a batch based on the batch, this is the result. Okay, like that you can understand this. Yeah, this is what we just understand. What is characteristics? The T code is CT04. This is nothing but it may be color as well. If any color, pale yellow, right, light yellow, if yellow related or red, green. So these are majorly, I told, these are helpful characteristics for the process industries. And initially, you have to create the characteristic that to be assigned into the class, and class type is nothing but 023. Okay, that is during the creation only this to be assigned. There are different class type is there uh, based on their similarities. Okay, this is the flow we just see. CT04. Go through the slides now. So this is where the characteristics for the thickness definition. Okay, you have to enter CT04. This is a create here. You have to create it. Enter that. Then give. This is a thickness I defined. Z thickness. Z thickness. This is characteristics group is the batch. It should be released. Okay, once it is released, we can use it. And data type may be number, numeric, character, date format, different format is there. Based on that, the characteristic data needs to be entered, and there is a values. You can enter those thickness values here. Okay, and this is what a single values needed. See here, this value. The thickness is between 1 to 100 mm. Okay. If there is a range, you can give to different ranges as well. This is characteristics. Okay. Initially, you have to create the characteristics. And this is for weight now. Weight. Z weight. Z weight. Batch. numeric format. The range is between 1 to 100 gram. Okay. If actually, if during the confirmation or during the production, the range is given this much, or during that batch for creation, those actual data can be mentioned. Okay. During this maybe goods production GRL. Okay, that time this can be captured in the characteristics level. So in this example, we created weight and thickness. And once the characteristics you created, that to be assigned in this class. Again, same create state. This is now class. So class is nothing but one or more characteristics. We given some name, X name. Then this is the class type 023. Nothing but this is a batch class. Okay. You give the description, release it. Then in characteristics tab, you can assign both character, thickness and average, and save. Okay. Once this class is you created, that to be assigned into the material. If material is required. So there is a classification view. You enter if it is not extended during the creation stage only. You have to extend the classification view with the class type 023. This number is important. Okay, this is SAP provided batch number that to be activated or assigned. Once see in the next screen. Yeah, this is what class type 023 for this material. And this is a class. This is not characteristics. That class, whatever we created, that to be assigned into this uh, material in classification view. Once you created, the value will not come. It is now extended of this class. There are the two characteristics, thickness and average. Then now, how to create the batch manually? We can create the batch manually through MSC1L. So is this material is now batch enabled and even characteristics is enabled. Okay, how to find out this? So create the batch based on the material plant combination. So system is asking, shall I go for internal number range? Because the configuration is internal only. If internal activated, we can go for external numbers as well. Now system is given this match for this material. Okay. So you can mention the manufacturing date of that component. Suppose if you created
What
today,
is internal and external number?
if any number is system is provided,
Okay.
system gives the number range based on the number range assigned. This is the internal number range. Okay. For example, you need to enter some names. What is
That is
you?
external.
Yeah, that is external. Alphanumeric is external.
Okay.
PD005. This is external number range, whereas system gives the number. This is internal number range. After
So,
this 419, if you create the next number, system gives the number in next 420. Like that, system only gives the number that we called as internal and external number ranges. Okay. Here,
so in the automatic they give internal
the
number, no?
system only provide, yeah, based on the backend setting configuration. Number range is there, right? So based on that, system only provide the numbers. Clear now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So there is a batch now. This batch, that batch status here you see that maybe this can be controlled again through configuration. Usually it should be unrestricted stock only. Okay. That should not be restricted, some block stock, something. So unrestricted means we can use in from the MMB or we can supply to any storage location or delivery. Okay. So usually the batch stock should be unrestricted, those configuration. And this is now see we are in the initial screen. See. So classification of this batch. So of thickness for this batch of the material, the whatever the mentioned data, we can mention now this during creation. The thickness of this batch of component is 85 mm and weight we got is 90 mm. Once you enter this classification and save. So there's a second, I think, second example. I'm showing you. One different. First one different thickness of there is a batch 419 on that thickness and weight. 420 having a different thickness and the weight. Okay, this batch, this is the batch classification data. This is how batch classification is works. Okay, I hope you understand this batch classification. And
So that data will be assigned by the production process
uh, correct.
plant level.
Process guy only. Yes. Initially, they have to define those things, and this is manually I shown. Automatically also you created those data will come. User only entered actual data to be entered.
Initially, the range is given only.
Initially need to be provided. Correct. Then what is actually range during the checking or during production, right? What they got that to be entered for that batch combination. This is this is initially we created. So what we do, classification is there. Let me log in and show in the system. We'll show you this in display mode when we created this. Same way you can practice some other thickness, length and all you can provide and practice. So now I'm logged into the system. Dollar component 2128 is there. Okay. 1102. So classification view activated already. It is may not signed. So 1000 plant. So this is all view know you are aware. The new is classification view. Okay. This classification view, these are the class types. Okay. So we are in the batch class. This is 023. If you assign this, so there is a class we created. Okay. So I will show you this. T code is CL01 is create. This is the display. This class, this is a class. The class type is 023 when we created. You have to give the description and the status should be released. Okay. You can do other also lock and in preparation requirement. And here you have nothing to do. Only the change is character. So this also I will show you the T code is character is CT04 enter display. So you have to give the characteristics okay based on the requirement that description same also or different description you can give. Enter this batch okay batch L0095 then you release it and one changes you required is the thickness is numeric You can provide the numeric and number character is 5 required, decimal is 2. Hit enter, that's it. So system will template and all system will take, and this value you have to give here range. The thickness range is 1 to 100. Okay, nothing to do additional, nothing you do as of now. So this is a thickness. What is this characteristics? So one more characteristics is weight. The weight characteristics, copy, go here, change, and the weight. Okay, weight character batch yellow 995, and this is a numeric only, and the value is this 1 to 100. 1 to 100 gram, the range is given. So this character we assign into this class, this class. Okay, thickness, average. You have to enter and save. That's it. So this range is assigned. Once this is done, this to be assigned into this classification view. Okay. So you just go away. Then one more thing you can understand. Okay, it is not there. Huh? Okay, no issue. So let me extend. Eight. Now another two views is you can understand. One is classification and this two also for the 1000 plant. Okay, this is batch enabled. So where we can find these batches. This already batch is enabled, right? So default now still I'm in created, but is replicated in plant data store location as well. Okay. So this master data you can maintain. You can mention the data. So what is the minimum shelf life in SLED? We can understand this. Okay. What is the period? Let me close, save, and show. Classific. This is SFG. So work scheduling view you can understand. Then what work scheduling. The batch can be enabled in work scheduling view and even in bad plant data storage location batch, or if raw material is for purchasing view. Okay, there we can enable these batches. So what we do now, we have a material 2118 with class X class. So we creating this in batch and understand. So what is the T code? Slash n msc1n. We creating this plant 1000. So system only provide the batch. Internal. So 457. Okay. Here you can give the production data, but nothing is there. This is manually only. This is production is there. After 2 years, this is expiry. If that is the case, you give expiry date and any QM related inspection data. This is manually we can control. Okay, and this stock is unrestricted stock. Enter basic data to nothing. In classification of view for this batch, we will provide the range thickness. Thickness is between how much is there? Thickness character. Average weight is 100 to 1 to 100 gram weight. So we will provide the weight 100 gram of this batch. We got 100 gram and the thickness maybe 98. So I will create one more thickness CT04 thickness value is given mm na 1 to 100 mm. Okay, 1 to mm 100 thickness I given 98. So display. So this related classification actual data we got manually creation. Okay, this is a classification we try to create for batch. Well, 10 character 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, including uh, all character. Okay, this is external number now we provided 21, expiry date is 20. This classification thickness is we can provide 25 mm and range also 95 8 gram. So like this batch data we can see. Okay, this is about classification. Classification and where we can send this batch splitting, batch classification, batch masterization. This is a batch master record. Okay, this is a batch master record. This we called as a batch master record. It include basic data 1, basic data 2, classification, master data, document, changes. So here in expiration date in basic data, and this is linked with QM. So if any vendor related vendor batch, the vendor batch having a 14 actually, 14 character can be used. So last goods receipt, MyGo GRN. Okay, those data maintained in basic data 1. Basic data 2, nothing we entered. So who created, when created, those data. Classification, just now we saw class to be created. In that class, the characteristics data, then material data, same replicated. Document is DMS actually. If any document to be created, right, from PDF or Word document, if you need to assign, if DMS is linked in this model, then those data we can assign it here and the change data recorded. Okay, this is called batch master. Batch master. This is how. Okay, then wherever enabling. Okay. This is how the batch data. So batch run, batch split, batch classification. We go for yeah, SLED. I will explain now. Okay, what is SLED? SLED is nothing but self life expiration. Self life expiration, or we can call it as best before date. Correct. In pharma industries or some medical equipment, we are getting that expiration date here. Correct. This is we say when this is manufactured on May 2010, but the date of expiry is to 2014. Okay, where we maintained in SAP. Those data we understand now. Okay. So this we called as batch expiration. So again, the main view for this SLED, self-life expiry date, or best before date, BBD, we maintained in plant data storage location. Go through this SLED slide. Batches of the material that may no longer be used or sold after a certain time period are normally assigned the shelf life expiry date. This can be mentioned or created during the manufacturing time. So, what is the expiry date, right? Based on the material, based on the food manufacturing, food pharma companies are give the expiry date of the component. Okay, so this function is calculated through SLED, total life of that component. So it is based on the production date. Okay, so this can be maintained at goods receipt, GR, production GRN, upon automatic goods movement. That means in that time, system is giving the pop-up based on the setting we made in the plan data store allocation. Okay. So if a total shelf life is not specified, you must manually enter SLED in the goods receipt document. Option is provided automatically as well as manually. Is predominantly used in the pharma. Okay. It is used mainly in the pharma industry, food industry, even chemical industry. So automatic calculation check SLED. Mm, SLED is nothing but total shelf life plus production date from the GR document. Okay. Uh, those data we called as SLED, shelf life expiry date. The total shelf life is not specified. Same. You can enter manual as well or automatically. Mm, Now to round off SLED, to round off the first day of the period is specified. Correct. You see here, SLID that is specified manually or not round off. So this is a batch number and this is a manufacturing date. From this date, the expiry date is till this only. Okay. This how this is maintained in SAP. You understand this? This is a second example. So X component, it may be we say example, this is a food industry. Okay, this is X component. So we enabled with the batch. For SLED, batch should be enabled. Okay, you come here, self life data is there, right? This is a SLED. This is SLED. So the period, if day is there, the self life is this is a day, 365 day, 1 year. If a month, you can give based on that number. If one means 1 month, 365 means 365 month. So this is the SLED period indicator. Okay, based on that, we can understand what is this. Uh, Now this component having a expiration date is 1 year, right? From the manufacturing date. Once you create manufactured, you got the inventory stock. From that, the expiry life of this component, X component, is 1 year. This is the meaning. Okay. Yeah, we go for manually creation now. This is component. So plant storage location is defined. We given for this material the expiration date is 1 year. So give some batch example. We created this batch 2129 with this batch. So once we provide the production date manually, system will calculate the expiry date based on the setting we made in the plant data storage location with 1 year. The system proposes it. Okay, shelf life expiry date. For example, the second example, if this is 24, this is in month, the period indicator is in month, the total shelf life is 24, and it is nearly 2 year. Okay, so we go for, no, see there is a pop-up, the date of the production must be entered in the goods receipt. If automatically, or if we go for manually, we are creating this batch. So if you enter this any date, system propose the expiry date 21. Suppose this is manufactured on 13/5, then the system propose the expiration date after the 2 year, after this month, 5th 2023, this component of this batch it is going to expiry. That is the meaning. Okay. This is a self life. Basic. We'll understand both 2167. Okay. Expiry date. I think gone this one. So SLED, self life expiry date. So MM022167 required. We required plan data store allocation to understand the SLED. So what we do, this is batch enabled self life expiry date. We give as in a month. We will provide 36 month. Pop-up is telling goods receipt, you have to provide this. So that's it. Save. So we create this class in MSC1 and 167. That system propose a batch. Suppose we manufacturing this in this storage location and this plant. So we enter. So suppose we created today's date. So 21 is the date. It should propose system proposed date of 24, correct? 05/2024. Let me enter. Yes, 5/24. So how this calculation? This calculation is based on this. We maintained in the self life expiry date in plant data store allocation. Okay, from this system calculate. So this is the master data setting where the SLED can be defined. Okay, so this is how system propose. If any classification is there, those data you can enter. Any color, paint viscosity, some other classification. This is batch classification. For this batch, you can enter this color, viscosity. Color is not defined, maybe. Okay, shade C is there. You enter. And viscosity is between 100 CP is there, 1000 CP defined. This is a definition given. Same you can enter. Classification data is entered. So you can display this. So this material of this batch in this storage location, this manufacturing and on this date in the market, this is the component expiry date. Okay, the period indicator is this in month. So 36 month from from today's date, this component going to expire. That is the meaning. So this is about SLED.
Mainly batch is using for the FG material, na? Or SFG.
Yeah, it is based on the requirement, FG, SFG, or raw material. Usually, as I said, for food industries and all, FG only they maintained expiry. In MTR or some companies are food pharma industries, food industries, right? There during the manufacturing, they do the setting in this plant data storage location. Based on that, they get that expiry date. Same only they are printed to that pouch. There is there, right?
FG,
Gulab jamun or idli, something that food industry is there. Those only replicated.
same SFG batch
Same
number is.
data should be come there. Yes, SFG or FG. Usually FG, correct. SFG
Good as.
for testing only we enter used, right?
Mhm.
Usually FGs actually. Expiration date. Even for the tablets, we saw some of the tablets, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Their expiry date is there. I think here we understood. Batch. This is what batch. Once maintained here. This is this is a B number, batch number, date May 21. This is again pattern. This pattern, this is where engraving machines, right? There they print it
I think
based on the
real time.
SAP input.
Yeah, real time. The batch is given like for the one process or
External,
by by
box,
by
box. Correct,
by
correct.
day.
Per day
By
manufacturing or
yeah,
from the lot. This may be now how many tablets, right? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12.
or
This
maybe
12
production order
actually
also.
in production order, how much quantity they mentioned, that is the batch.
Mhm.
Correct. That batch, and for that batch, this is the date of manufacturing and expiry date, like that. Okay. So classification before going batch determination. This is a huge one. Mm, okay. What we call is I not mentioned. This original batch. Let's understand this. Original batch determination. Original batch. Okay. Oh my God. So this we combined with SLED only. Okay. So just I go through this original batch. Okay. Original batch management. What is the setting? Where to do this setting and all. Then SLED is done. Splitting. Splitting also I can show. Okay. We can use an original batch to store the original attributes. We now understood what is this characteristics. This characteristics nothing but attributes. We can store that original attributes of the production lot or procurement lot. We procured from the outside by creating the batch directly for the production order or purchase order item. So if any original batch or because see some of the component is different attributes. So based on the original attribute, if we required, that how we can map in the system. You understand this? Store those attributes of the material that do not change throughout the production process. Be able to copy the characteristic of the original batch into quality certificate. An original batch is uniquely identified by the batch number, the material, and the plant. We can create original batch for the purchase order, manufacturing order, and process order. This is what we understand. See, for example, we take an example. There is a raw material is available X that when we create it, and there is a characteristics, right? The original characteristics we can maintain. For example, we take as a moisture and assay is there. Then example for semi-finish. This semi-finish, for example, this is a semi-finish. So there is a BOM of this component. In classification view, we can create this moisture and assay. We understand this through slides first. This is a raw material. We create the raw material. Okay, there is a raw material. And, this is SFG. You don't confusion here. This is for example for testing only. Okay, maybe FG as well. So we understand for this original batch management how it works. Then we take two characteristics. Characteristics can be created through CT04. There is some that component having a moisture, number of character, okay, moisture and assay. This is the moisture, and we created one more is a assay, and this moisture and assay is assigned into the class, okay, chemical. Then we go further. So this is SFG, okay. We have to assign extend the classification view. In that classification we assign this chemical having a two characters, moisture and assay. Then see, that should be, this is we for example we took as a 2161 as a SFG. The characteristics of this two, moisture and assay one, this what we did, there is a batch management is there. This is a original batch management. It is active. One means allowed. Okay. For SFG we did this. So original batch management. Select batch management. Plan data storage location. Same is replicated. No need to enter here again. Okay. That is replicated from work scheduling view. Select original batch management allowed. One. Okay. So now we create a BOM. So material master is ready. Material master is extended with original batch management. We go for creating the BOM for this 2161 SFG. So there is only one component we can take raw material, and we create a resource for the process industry. Okay, CRC1. May I think the original batch number is, it is useful for process industries only. So I can, in the next class you can understand, just you go through now. So resource is nothing but work center. Okay, work center as we discussed in the discrete manufacturing or production line in REM process. So master recipe here in the process industry, and we understood this is a routing task list. Okay, and we initially we create the BOM for that component. Then yeah, this is work center we created. No, don't confusion here. Any work center we can create, not specifically to that, because this is a master data we required. That's why. So anyway, we understand. We can understand to for routing as well. Okay, discrete. So we create the routing for one process we mentioned. Routing is done. Then we create the production version. You can recall in the last class what is production version. It is nothing but combination of the BOM and routing. Yeah. See, the original batch management, it can be understand for the point of view, material management. Okay, for the purchase order level. Initially, we read that purchase order level for the raw material. Okay, this is the T code. This purchase order creation ME21N. Then purchase order release ME29 or goods receipt. So how this original batch is replicate or how it work. This one example, or give a batch number of the material. This is batch for the raw material. Okay. Well, posting the stock, give the characteristics value. If any characteristics data to be maintained for this moisture and assay, this to be maintained during the posting. Okay, I think this is we assigned into the raw material. Okay, the for raw material we assign this classification. we go through creation of the batch. We give this character classification view. You give the values, moisture, some for this batch combination raw material. This is the result. So COR1 is created. Okay. See, this process industry, the T code is COR1 for process order creation, and the production order creation is CO01. I think, okay, luckily we are in production order only. So 2161, that means if before coming here, you should be in a position to ensure all material master setting, BOM, routing, production version if required. Okay, those are all to be ensured. And now we're creating the production order now. Okay, now you aware all this, no issue. So this is a production order creation, just we creating, and this is now batch enabled. Okay, this is batch enabled. We are understanding what is original batch. So in goods receipt for this SFG system provide one batch. Okay, SF001. Even raw materials also having a batch number. Once you assign this batch number, you can provide, while creating the process order or production order, assign the batch number. This is we assigned as SEP001. Release the process order and save it. Process production order. Yeah. Now once you release it or in creating stage, go to, this is in go to stage in production order, there is a original batch. You can create it. Okay, you can create the original batch. Click on create original batch, follow the screenshot. Now the original batch is original batch 001. You can give here, this is the order. Okay, so based on the reference, raw material is there, raw material batch is RM001, SFG material is SF001, but for throughout the original batch is OB001. Okay, this can be given like this. So 2161 is SFG of this batch, original batch. Now we will be mentioning this original batch of this order, but this is a raw material, reference material data. So you do this, yeah, raw material, original batch, and save this data. This will give original batch of process or production order. Okay, this is OB001. Even though raw material and batch having SFG having a batches, still we can give the original batch for tracking purpose of complete of this material. Okay. Similarly, when we created on this date, this is original batch is activated now. Okay. So now you released, you got this production order. Now you go for the confirmation of, don't confusion, this is, I try to replicate for production only. Okay, basically this is applicable for process industry. Now you do for the confirmation, header confirmation, then confirmation done. Now MB31, you are getting the stock, correct? That time the original. This is SF01 only. If any characteristics you can provide now. Okay, actual actual data you can enter, moisture how much, assay how much. Okay, you enter those data, both the characteristic value of the raw material automatically. Production order now display stage. This component is delivered. 10, you got 10. If you go and check in original data, you can get characteristics detail. of that classification. Okay, original batch is OB001, and this is having a different batch, but this OB0 tracks this uh, characteristics. This can be see in this T code. This is we called as batch cockpit. PMBC is the T code. From there, this is the initial screen. You can enter the material plant and batch. I'm giving the batch of SFD batch now here. Okay. So, so this is OB001. Okay, for raw material, original batch, any classification data that can be tracked with this OB001 as well. So we can see the characteristics value detail, transaction or the original batch. So yeah, this is a two T codes where the original batch in the production can be BM or procurement. This is MM. If they want to track the original batch data, this is a T code. From there, we can understand this original batch process and production orders. You have to enter which order we did. So those go into fetch OB001. If any characteristics, those data we can get it. There's another second order for that characteristics detail. So I'm not come across this original batches, and for theoretical way I got the screenshots. So okay, so you can go through this slide and understand this process. And this is you can doing the original batch in the production order screen only. Okay, original batch here. This is the original batch if required. Even though SFGs, FGs, all are having the batches, but through this original batch, the entire link data we can get it once you created this, correct? Through that batch cockpit T code. So this is what the batch. We can use that original batch to store the original attributes, okay, of a production lot procurement. It is applicable both for MM and PP as well, both the case. So those slides also mentioned the process. PR, purchase order creation and product during the GRN original batch can be assigned. Okay, this is the link, original batch. Okay, so again link with this original batch and add batch determination. This is one important topic as a PP, and we are left with SLET covered, batch management covered, batch splitting is there. So batch splitting I can explain you through slide also. So shall we continue another hour, Iqbal? How your time is permitting?
Yeah, yeah,
How you can okay, right?
yeah. You can.
We can continue.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll take 10 minutes, 5 minutes break and start.
Okay.
Right?
Not. Okay, we can 10 minutes.
10 minutes will take. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I need to cover another two. And this one you have to understand. Splitting also no issue. But batch determination as a PP, you should be in a position to tell. Okay. So we'll take a 10 minutes break and start. Huh?
Okay.
Batch splitting and batch determination so that we are come to end of batch. So pausing now. Check. I'll tell you the original batch. So this. Original batch. Original batch. What is the order? Yeah. 6,000. So, 002. 3642. 3664. This is a code to original batch. And display. Okay. So from this you can check original batch. Okay. Original activated. Classification. Okay. This is the original batch and this is batch. This is created system batch and raw material batch. Raw material, it is batch, not determination. No? During determination, you can understand. So one more I need to tell you is this batch creation. Okay, batch creation, manual and automatic.
It seems like the bomb. Instead,
How done?
no, batch is like I see just very similar like bomb in the different material
Not. We can't say this is a bomb.
because
See,
the
our
one batch is there and again the same material.
yeah.
This
Now
is the
this is
original batch.
material, right? This material having this quantity. That batch number is this one. If you enter this batch, correct? SF001.
Mm.
So where we can check, you have to go to MMBE, MMBE, enter 2167. So original data, latest batch output. Okay, 10 only. So original batch of this SF001. If SF00 is the storage location, if you remove this storage location, this is the storage location. 2161 batch of 10 quantity we manufactured. So if you right click and check this display batch, those data you can get it. Classification, batch, okay, master data and those things. So batch is a different actually. Batch is it is applicable for all the modules. Okay, start from PP, QM, MM, SD. So start from the creation till the delivery. Now your delivery this 10 quantity of this batch to the customer, correct? So same batch only flowing till to delivery. Okay. So now what I'm thinking to tell you
So what is
now
the
is
difference between this original batch and this created batch?
your original is batch wherein you can track through this batch entire if there is a component, right? There are plenty of material is there that you can track it through that batch. Even the this is linked with if the material batch is there. Okay. So original batch change it is not mentioned. Original batch enter original batch. So actually we can say this is the main batch for batch traceability purpose only. Okay.
So that original batch is created for like one material, and this uh, another was for the particular order.
That is also there. Correct. That is header level.
Mm-hmm.
Original is entire. Suppose we say one component is there, correct? So one FG material is there. For that, we can that having a batch as well as the original batch also. So based on the original input, we can track entire material structure of the batches. It may be SFGs, different SFGs, or raw material. Yeah, it is linked with, as you said, the bomb structure. For example, if bomb X having mm, this one X having original batch, and this X having Y and J, Z SFGs, and A, B, C, D have a raw material, correct? So through this original this batch, we can track entire these details. Which order, what is the quantity, what is the batch of this batch, those details we can get it through this. So this is nothing but this we can mention or maintain both level and PM level, material master, purchase order level and production order level. And it is actually linked with attributes if any characteristic is there. Okay, original attribute with that batch number. This is not changing throughout the production process. Okay, it is easy to track with these characteristics. Okay, characteristic details also we can see through this BM MCT code, cockpit, batch cockpit. So if any characteristics is there, what is the characteristic of which material? Because the characteristics is maintained for now one material only, raw material. So different raw materials, those details also track through this original batch. Okay, that's storing this attributes also all stored in this original batch only. In spite of SFG having a batch, even raw material having a batch. Okay, so one more thing I want to show you is how to create this batches, batch creation. Okay, this batch. If you required manually or automatically. So what I do, I create one production order of the order type PP01. Create one or mention the current date. Okay, okay. This is having a production version. Order as in a missing part. Fine. Now, goods receipt, we are not getting the batch. Okay, the batch is now understood for the 2161 only. Suppose if I release this or save this and go and change the production order, still I not get this batch. Okay, this can be created manually. Now if you create this, you can get the batch, or if you release this, the batch can be getting or not. Let us check. Release. So release order, release carried out, but still batch is not created automatically, correct? If manually, how we can do, you can create this, you can get the manual batch creation. But how to get this automatic? So what you to do, uh, start production scheduling profile. Okay, so there is a setting for 1000 plant on the profile. Okay, you check this. So you come, there is a document scheduled automatic uh, goods receipt, automatic goods receipt. Okay, this tick mark to be created. And one more setting is this batch management, automatic batch creation in the order. No automatic batch. Now this is a blank, right? No automatic. Automatic batch creation, order creation time it will show, or automatic batch creation at the order release, both the case. Now what we do, this batch classification is one, right? Just now we saw classification. Classification is carried out background. Okay. These are the setting. This is automatic if required. So anyway, these details we can see in that configuration. What I do, so which one is activated? First we try that. One is not there. I think this is automatic. Go, yeah, automatic. Automatic batch and nothing is there. What I do, this 0002 I will assign to this material master. Go MM0161. I don't know, last work scheduling. Okay. This one. Yeah, 2161. So this is a production scheduling profile. So what I do, the production is automatic. Save this. So now we create the production order. T code is slash n CO01 161 quantity. So check the current date. Enter production manually. Order is missing, no issue. Now I am releasing. During the releasing only the batch in goods receipt going to create, because automatic release we created. So now release is carried out. You check. Okay. Still it is not came. Okay. Let us save and try. Go change. Okay. Goods receipt. Batch is not there. 161. It is there. Wait. So how come manually? Okay. Again we need this setting. Come here. Change. Automatic goods receipt. But what is this control? From this we get order release or creation. Let us try out creation stage. Set. This is configuration setting. Okay. Oh, let us create one more order. Slash and 001 current date. Enter. Order is missing. Release order. Goods receipt. Yeah. Now system only propose the batch during the release of the order. Okay. So how it is controlled? It's controlled through this production scheduling profile. This is automatic. System will only propose the batch. Okay. So this is a setting. So we can create during the creation, and also we can do this setting. So now this should be activated automatic. Then there is a setting. This is
So file
order.
configure in POPK, na?
T code,
Yeah, yeah.
OPKP. There is a path.
Uh, yeah, for the profile.
I will show you the path. SPRO, RO, go to SPRO, reference IMG, go to production, go to shop floor control, uh, it is master data, production scheduling profile. It's already open, correct? That's why
Mm-hmm.
it is showing. So you position it, 1000, enter, this one, automatic goods receipt, and this is a setting.
How to
Mm,
create new?
Automatic batch creation in order. So creation time, correct? So what we do, 201, we take other material.
How to create the profile?
1 minute, 2161, this, okay, current date, enter. Order is missing. Now create stage only, not there. So we save it. I think this batch not enabled. That's it. Batch is there. Same batch already created. That's why. Otherwise, system already proposed 462 released. Release rejected due to some other setting is there. That's why. So you told something, but creation of this.
Yeah, yeah.
This anything you can go like this. Production order. This existing you can copy and try. So what you do? Go 1000. Okay. If you copy this, you can give the next number or any names. 7, automatic, enter. System propose the TR. Save this. This is the 7. Just now you create. Same you need to assign it to work scheduling. Okay. This can be do the setting based on if customer is asking I need automatic batch creation order release time to automatic creation time. Usually customer asking the release time only. Then you have to activate this goods receipt, automatic goods receipt. Once this assigned, same to be assigned into material master of work scheduling view. So this is how automatic and manual creation of the batches. Now I finish first the split. Anyway, now you know the process. You go through the flow, batch splitting. So batch split is the part of batch management. Batch split. Batch splitting. Split. What is this? Batch split is a part of batch management. If the material is managed in the batches, then you can carry out the batch split for every component. This means that if you split the batch, you assign more than one batch to one component. The batch split can only be triggered manually in the production order. What is the meaning is, so for example, your batch component of production order is 10 quantity, 10 each. Okay. So this is a FG component, or suppose we say the raw material required is a 10 each, but in your system, the batch of raw material having a stock of 6 only, and another batch is how much? Another batch is 2. Still, system is needed 10 each, correct? So system is checking other batch as well until it fulfill the requirement. So 6, 7, 8, 10. So system will take all these batches. This is a batch split. Okay. So system is considered, it is, if system is having 10 of the batch, for example, this is a 10 batch available during the goods issue, system considers directly this one. If not available, it will go going down level and find out to fulfill the stock. So this is the batch split. This one single raw material required these 3 batch to fulfill the requirement. That is what this. We see in the slide. Now we creating the production order, 100 quantity. There is a batch. It is maybe creating manually also we can select internal number each. Then this 2129 having two components. Raw material, it is also required 100 and 100 each. So production order change, it is released. Stages is released now. Batch creation with unrestricted stock. Okay, this is some issue maybe faced. Now the batch stock is we are uploading. Okay, through MSC1N. So this is a batch 01 of 1000 plant RM001 unrestricted use. These are the batches. Batch 01 batch. This is manually uploading. Okay, 561 and getting 25, 25, 25, 25. So usually, actually, I required 100 of this material 163. Okay, 500 163 raw material. I required 100 quantity, but the batch is having different batches. Batch 01 having 25 kg, 2 having 25. If this is a scenario, then we having a 4 batch of 100 quantity. Okay. This is 164. Second material also same scenario. 100 quantity, different batch. So during the confirmation time, header level confirmation of 630 production order, we are confirming the production order now. So actually that stock is not available, correct? 100 quantity of single batch is not available. So you go to do the splitting. So 100 system going to check and find out the batches of. So how, what is the split is required. Now if you enter that, actually required 100 quantity. This is the available stock. Based on that, we mention as a 25. So it is split into these components, this many. Okay. So 263, 50, 25, 25, this 50. But 50-50 split. This is a split now, divided, correct? But again, the stock is not available. Stock is there for 25 batch only. That's why this error comes. Okay. Stock is not fulfilled. What we do, we splitting into 25 each so that stock is available. Then confirmation going to happen easily. So this is the splitting of the batch during the goods issue. So the batch split setting is okay. OMAB. Okay. Some setting was missed, I think, initially. That setting we did. OMAB. Yes. Unrestricted batch stock. Oh, 2 batch 64 1122. Now 25 again added. The second test case 50 we made. Still we having a batch of 25. I asking system to do 25 split. Split is done. Leave it. Don't do enter anything. System splitted this. Again, second split I need 25 only. Enter that. Go to split 25 came for this material. If split is needed, as we have the 25 batch only. So this method is we called as a splitting. That's it. Confirmation. Okay. Based on the stock. Enter the available stock and do the confirmation. Deliveries happened after the splitting of batch. This is a splitting of batch. 2129 is 101 movement. This is 101 internal number range, and this is externally we maintain the batch. So this is how. So date of manufacture 29. So let us understand in the system. Go to ABU 23. Two two nine. So what I do, we create one component first. So CO01 manually creation 129 production per type PP01. We go to create for 50 material and current date is today's date and order having a missing. Okay, OPJK setting is there. That is missing. If required, we can create the match and we can realize this. There's a pop-up user rejected. Okay. So why it is rejected? So go to logs release. So system is telling you must enter the batch for the material 163. Release of the order not possible. 163 because okay 163 is there. Is batch managed. But this test case is different. No? 129. One thing is deleted. Okay. What do we do? We check this stock first. MMB this component in 1000 plan. So okay. 50 is available. We made 50. So this will not work. We do for 100 class and C 01 so 100 current date enter order is missing. Okay, so what I do, we'll upload one more batch. Okay, with 25, 25. So we want to see uploading batch of RM00, RM00, enter component is 63.
Movement type is 261, no?
Oh, this stock is not available, no? I'm uploading manually. Actually, this should come through PO, right?
No, you type there 561, the movement type.
561 uploading manually, physically.
Oh, okay.
Physical stock uploading, this one, okay? This will take another 25. So now system will give the batch, right? Date of goods manufacturing. SLED is available. So today's date we give are not required. So SLED activated. That's right. So date of manufacturing 16 1 2. So 464, 65, 66 batch assigned. Okay. Now if you refresh here, you're getting the stock. And one more I doubt is this material is work is not activated. MRP 2000. Okay, batch entry is there. That's why. So what we will do? This batch determination stage is okay. So 2125 slash in this created 2129 pen cap 28. I'm checking the bomb 038 1000 not there.
2129, no?
29 already available. Why this not available? This is in 1000 plant. Bomb is not there. Let me create it. Material create enter. So I create 163, not 163. Wait, create 63, 64, 63. Save. So class in go to work scheduling. Enter. Map to view. Enter. Okay, perfect. This is okay. One more. This. Okay. Map to 1000. Okay. Okay. 60. Map to 1000. Okay. Right. So. We create a routing. Okay. Wait. Routing to 8. Now you see, I'm copying from routing. Okay, date I don't know. No? 229, 8 of 1000 point. Okay. Okay. 0, 1, header. This is a match. This is a group. It is 3, 5. So status is released. Okay. Enter. I don't want this back condition record. Save. So 2128 is fine. I can create the production order 128. So you add required 50, 50, 50, 75. Okay. Your current date, enter. Oh yeah, again missing part. So let us check order component environment stock. Let us check the stock. Go to slash and enter this 163. So it is available 164. 164 available, 163 also available. Why this is coming? Batch is not available. Right. Okay. We go create enter available log information. No issue. Capacity. Okay. Material. Okay. Go to calculation. Message issue. Scheduling. Release order. Release the order. Save. So order is this one. Batch split order is this. What do we do? Check backlash data. So this is backlash is there and batch is activated. Okay, 75 required. So you copy this, go to /n/co11 and to the order, go to operation. 75 one operation is there. Actual data. So enter, go to goods movement. Now you have to understand split 75 stock. So I need to split this. Go to edit splitting. So how much we do the split? 25 split we do. Add up. And another stock. Edit split. We do splitting of 25. So now I think 163.50 is there. Let us check. 163.50 is there. Fine. And 164.50. 164 also 50 available. So based on the available stock, the splitted is done. Let us go and check for the 51. 50 batch and 164 25 batch, then this required 50. Splitting is nothing but dividing that batch. Okay, now all stock is available. It should run without error. So you go batch C10 before this moment 261 happened with batches. Okay, or even you can see this in component overview. Go to 75 commitment is 75 75. So batch determination not there. This something's changed. Okay. So this is how. Then GRN can be do with this batch. So batch is not there. You can create manually. Okay. Go to /MIGO. So I'm do the goods receipt against production order 75 quantity where SF order same batch 467. Okay, here it is managed with self life. The system is asking self life date of manufacturing. So yes, let check. So you check this document is okay and post. So now we can check this component details. Stacks and equal 314. Getting the stock of spend. Go to goods moment. This is the document where you get 101. So this is how we can split the goods issue. Okay, it is applicable for goods issue components only. We can splitting likewise manually. This is a SAP provided the solution. Splitting of components. Okay, there will be a lot of issues in the batch. We can see the batch
When
details.
is required in the real time?
If insufficient stock is there, that time batch splitting will work.
Insufficient required and delivery need to be done.
Oh, this is 163, right? We check this batch detail. The batch is details unrestricted last goods receipt, that stock data, if classification assigned, uploaded data, this stock and file, all data only available. If stock is not available based on the order quantity, then do the splitting to get the required stock of that batch. This is we called as batch splitting. Okay, getting or not? Any doubt?
No, just a little bit confused.
Yeah, see here. So you made the stock of this is we created, right? We are created like splitting issue. So I need to do the quantity of 75, whereas my raw materials also I required 75 quantities, but I don't have sufficient stock for this because the batch of goods issue is different stock is available. Total of 50 only available in this example. Okay, suppose in RM001 50 stock is available, but now you go and cross check here in this, refresh it 164. So okay, now no stock is there, correct? So 164 no stock is there, but it is reserved. So what we do, we check 164. Yeah, now one thing I can tell you, now this stock is consumed, right? But you are manufactured 75 order quantity. Okay, 75 is you required actually FG quantity, whereas this one 163 you required 75, but you had having stock of only this much. So still you have 25 less. Okay, even you required 75. So another stock of one more batch you need to upload. Then these three batch should be consumed to do the perfect goods issue. Okay, then how you do this? Is it any method is there? Else, if you need to get 75 one batch only, so that you can do the confirmation easily. But here the batch is split batch is available. Even though another 25 is in a less, if 25 is you are getting, then you do the splitting during the confirmation and do the consume this material based on the available stock. Getting now?
Yeah, like FG quantity is, for
No,
example,
no, you forgot about FG. If you think FG, you have a confusion because now you are doing for consumption only. Okay,
hmm
261 movement we are doing. Okay, so now I need 75 kg, whereas I don't have stock of 75. Okay, but I having only Splitting of batches. This splitting I have. Okay, directly I cannot consume 75 now. How to do? Because there is a different batch now available. This can be fulfilled through splitting activity.
No,
Fine?
against what? Against what? Production order or
Yeah, it is a production order only you are consuming, right?
mhm,
You are getting this 2128 you're going to manufacturing of 75 kg, but here in our test case luckily it is 1:1 ratio. Again for your raw materials also you have consumed 75, whereas this to be you should be have a stock, right? The stock should you have in the warehouse, correct? So that
mhm,
stock is not available, but suppose you assume that you have a stock of 75, 75, 75. You need to goods issue, right? You have to do the confirmation. Once you do the goods issue, then only the further confirmation and the GRN going to happen. Because it is batch manufactured, you don't have sufficient 75 for the one batch. So whatever available stock that should you should consume by doing the splitting.
okay, then next stock will become, then it will be consumed
Then
by
only it will take
next
correct.
20.
Yes, right. Still now it is insufficient actually. Another 25 is required because this batch
Mm-hmm.
we consumed now.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
previous order. It is reserved. Now it is reserved. Why? Once you do the goods issue, it will go. Maybe the some other parts it's reserved.
Mm-hmm.
Until you are not goods issue and GRN happen, it will not go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is how the splitting work. Splitting of components. This is applicable for components only. Material that is you split batch, you assign the more than one batch, correct na? To one component. This we do in manual splitting. Actually, we from BAPIs, if automatically also possible. Okay, the splitting. What system will check? Now you required 75 material. Okay, 75 each component. System will check if 100 batch is there. The system will directly consume from 100 only. Only remaining 25 it is left out and 75 going to consume. Whereas if different batch is there, 25 each, then it will consume all. Even we thought 30 also there. Then it will take from this batch 25, 30, another 20 from this batch, all including all this going to do the GI of the different batches of this component. So this is the batch splitting. Okay. Just splitting the batch and goods issue. This goods issue time is helpful. The splitting of the batch. So go through the slides and do because there are some setting was missing. Need all those settings. Now you can do without error. This is splitting. So one more, the very important is batch determination. Okay. Now the batch how see batch determination is nothing but the user is asking the user is telling I'm not do manual the batch selection and all. Okay. Now you see this is a batch is there. Now this should be selected automatically. Okay. Then how to do this? Now we tried with manual confirmation and all, right? So during the confirmation or production order release time, this batch uh, business is asking this should system should check automatically based on there is a condition. If it may be first in first out, first expiry first out, or last in last out. There are the characteristics what we called right that we need to define in the system. Our standard SAP provided those characteristics. So based on that, this automatic batch determination can be takes place. We go through this slide first. Batch determination. Okay, there is a FIFO method is there, or batch determination. I not wrote anywhere. Somewhere I wrote, forgot. Okay. So what I do, batch determination is based on FIFO or LIFO. FIFO, first in, first out, LIFO, last in, and first expiry, first out. This is the method. So we understand first in, first out. What does this meaning is? So if the component, whichever is comes first in the warehouse, that to be consumed first. Okay. Otherwise, unnecessary inventory or the shelf life of the component going to increase. Okay. For that, so we need to maintain certain rule here. Okay. We have to work on certain rule to get activated this batch determination. Here I forgot not this here. First in, first out, last in, first out, first expiry, first out. Okay, so this is batch determination. So what this is, so you can use a batch determination in the process in the production order to find the batch, finding the batch of components. Okay, finding the batch of this component batch that are to be handled in the batches required for the production of the material. System automatically assigned the batches to the component based on the search strategy. Now another 2 3 words going to add, new words: search strategies and short rule. Okay, there is a rule we have to define, and there is a search strategy is there. Okay, so I go through first slide, then I will explain the system. So for this, there is a configuration setting need to do in the backend. First one is condition table creation. Okay, so this is a good, this is not directly in the configuration in PP model. This is in logistic general model. Okay, logistic general, batch management, batch determination, condition table, define production order, condition table for batch determination. Okay, the batch determination is, I will show you, go back. What is Ghana? Okay, anyway, later I will explain after login to the system. So first thing is condition table. So first we required condition table creations. Okay, so based on the requirement again. So this is nothing but component batch allocation automatically to the order. It may be production order or process order. This we called as batch determination. Now we understand for the FIFO method, first in, first out method. And if components may be raw material, packaging material, correct? So those material based on their expiry date, we can select the automatic batch. So first is creation of condition table. Okay, that I will go here first. Now go to batch management, batch determination, condition table. Next is access sequence. Third in strategy type, batch search procedure, batch search procedure allocation check, then automatic batch determination. This is for SD. So go down, selection class is there. Then short rule. Okay, You have to define the shortcode. There are a lot of setting you need to do. There's one time backend setting to be do. Then automatically we can assign the component allocation during the production order creation, or even in the CO01 or in CO11 and as well. Okay, that means confirmation time also we do the batch determination. Okay. Mm, automatic batch determination. Okay. Now we go. This is condition table. So we do create based on the requirement batch determination for the production order. First condition table. The condition table maybe it is this can be differentiate maybe based on the material number, material type, order type, planning plant valuation type. Okay, this combination as a production people we required based. Yeah, this is again one more changes actually required. If customer asking, I need the condition table is based on the order type and plant. This combination or material and plant combination. Okay, based on that we can do this setting based on the business requirement again. Okay, then the second, this is the second one. Now see, this table is different 901, and this table is for understanding purpose I kept here only. That 599 is based on the order type and plant, whereas 991 is plant and material combination. Any one condition table can be used. Okay, so go ahead. Second step is access sequence. So once condition table is ready, then you go for the access sequence. The condition table will take 599. So 599 condition table we created. Then we go access sequence. So access sequence, production order access sequence, go to that way only. Then you select. So there is a system is already configured standard access sequence CO01, CO02. This is based on order type of plant material combination and order type and plant combination.
T code for
Anything
access sequence.
fiber?
T code for access sequence.
I'm not getting you.
T code for access sequence.
Okay, access sequence OPLB is there. I'm not mentioned. We'll go and check that. Okay, OPLB for the initial. So during the screen login, we can get that T code. No issue. So because there is a path already given, through path only we can go. This is a path, continue path, batch determination, batch check, condition table, access sequence. We are in access sequence. So okay, it is again based on different module also there. In condition table, SD is there, MM is there, PP is there. Okay, different based on our setting. We need to do this batch determination. So here in access sequence, there is already there. I think we go for order type and plant CO03. That I only made that. Is setting we change. Yeah, we go for CO03 access sequence. Access sequence is CO03. And here I assigned both. This is a condition table, correct? Condition table 599 is order type and plant. Let it both. Okay, both combination, order type and plant component combination. So then is access sequence 003. It is not captured here. Leave it. This 901 is different one. Okay, Z004 access sequence is there. Both I kept for understanding. So the doc that table is works for plant and M Matner MTRT material type. These are system only fetch the field actually field details.
Mm, Once that is done, the next is strategy type. Then we go for the strategy type. So our strategy type is CO03 only. CO03. So this is now strategy type definition. We will get the T code as well. No issue. Okay. Order type, strategy type. Yeah. So this is we new created. Okay. CO03 condition type, access sequence CO03. Here we again comes that class data. Okay. Class short sequence.
Hello.
हेलो। हेलो।
Hi Irfan भाई,
अस्सलाम
क्या हो
वालेकुम।
गया?
हाँ हेलो जी भाई, क्या वो डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया क्या?
डिस्कनेक्ट, हाँ डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया।
अच्छा, मैं उनको कॉल करके चेक भी चेक करता हूँ। Hello. Hello, Mr. Shekhar. Hello.
नहीं आ रही उनकी आवाज.
Mr. Shekhar, we cannot able to hear you. Hello. Mr. Shekhar, are you there?
बात हुई उनसे, फोन किया.
जी मैंने एनर्जी में उनको कॉल किया था, तो वो बोले कि ठीक है, मैं शायद वो सेशन ज़्यादा लंबा हो गया तो ऑटोमेटिक लॉग आउट हो बैठेंगे. तो सेम लिंक को मैंने कहा कि आप क्लिक करें तो आप रीज्वाइन कर सकते हैं. तो रीज्वाइन तो हो गया, मगर उन्होंने कुछ बोला.
नहीं, अभी तक उनका आवाज ही नहीं आ रही. ठीक है, तो क्लोज कर दीजिए. क्या है?
ओके, ठीक है नदीम भाई,
ठीक.
ठीक है.